Pardon me? An excerpt on what a question was asked of Dr. Joseph John, Madam Speaker, and I think it's apropos in terms of what does he think medical tourism, if it's a viable option for Antigua and Barbuda. And in his opinion, is Antigua and Barbuda could do more in terms of both public and private health. And I just wanted to read what his vision for Mount St. John Medical Center and public health key in Antigua. So his vision when he built the hospital, because he built it under the mandate, our government. He was the key technical person under our Labour Party vision. Can I read it, Madam Speaker? Or I can. So it says, has your vision for the Mount St. John Medical Center and public health care of Antigua and Barbuda materialized? He said, Dr. John, not yet. Yes, indeed, there's now a first-class, even a world-class physical facility here. But our vision for Mount St. John was that it would be a state-of-the-art facility delivering first-class secondary and tertiary care to Antiguans and Barbudans. At the same time, the facility itself will become a regional center, developing certain specialties that were not available in other islands. The medical tourism aspect of it would not only be limited to the region, but in some instances, the international market. Telemedicine, and I understand that they do a fair share of telemedicine right now. Telepathology and teleconferencing was also to play a big role. You know, Madam Speaker, when you have a surgeon operating you on the surgical table, you have the cameras and it's hooked up via the internet to another surgeon. You all didn't invite him, man. You all fired him, man. Madam Speaker, I still think, if he's the best, I still think that this can yet happen one day. It was a very positive response. I mean, he wasn't playing no politics here. In your opinion, is Antigua and Barbuda the way it could be in terms in both public and private health care? No question we have come a long way in healthcare delivery in Antigua and Barbuda, both in the public and private sector over the past 15 years. No question we have come a long way in healthcare delivery in Antigua, both in the public and private sector. He's being fair. Over the past 15 years. Over the past 15, you have been owning government 7. But I don't think we have taken that quantum leap yet. My thoughts as to what that is, or for that matter is not, involve a myriad of reasons, some of which may be beyond the scope of this discussion. He was being diplomatic here. I would just say this. Like many things in other aspects of Antiguan life, a greater degree of utility and open-mindedness on all levels would form the basis and the way forward towards that leap. Do you think medical tourism is a viable option for Antigua and Barbuda? You spoke about it when you were the Minister of Health. Why you have not implemented up to now medical tourism in your business plan? But you're speaking and speaking about it, and where is the tangible evidence? Because all the tourists that coming here, even the people that live at Mill Reef, even the people that live at Jumbi Bay, they run go by Joy, even though his fees a lot more than Mount St. John, they still go by him. So you tell me where's the medical tourism? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Honourable members.
Absolutely. Oh, please. Please. Please.
Honourable members, please allow him to wrap up.
Anyway, to answer the question, absolutely, I started talking about medical tourism back in 1994. And at that time, people didn't have much information about the concept. And many scoffed at the idea because you all have not done it. You're all only talking about it because you all don't have a clue how to implement it. There was a big window of opportunity, I would say, during the decade following 1998. In terms of regional medical tourism, this would have come about quite naturally had Mount St. John been developed as a center of excellence. It have to be a center of excellence first, with good, competent, qualified doctors, and bring in the best. And if Joy is one of the best, bring him. Or Belazir and Babu. We would easily have drawn from the surrounding islands. Let me finish, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, please let him finish.
We would easily have drawn from the surrounding islands. Which island you draw from? We would have easily have drawn from the surrounding islands, Madam Speaker, and in some cases, even the bigger islands, as happens now in my practice. You hear what he said? Even the bigger islands, as now happens in his practice. Because he have surgeons coming in from Trinidad to fix back, he have surgeons coming in from Orlando, all of that. As there has been many services that are not offered in the region. In terms of the international forum, the plan was to concentrate on areas known to attract medical tourists, such as bariatric surgery and cosmetic surgery. During my 10 years as medical superintendent, I had many discussions with groups in the United States and Canada who were interested in bringing direct pay, non-insured patients to Antigua at reduced cost to the patients. The key to this becoming a reality, however, is the development of a first-class tertiary hospital offering a wide array of subspecialties, delivering care at the highest standards. This has to be achieved before we can begin to talk about health tourism. So before we can speak about health tourism, you need to fix your problems up there and have the best, excellent service up there. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in concluding, members of this Honorable House, citizens and residents in general, Honorable Prime Minister, my beloved constituents of St. Peter, in particular, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. Madam Speaker, as we prepare to celebrate the birth of the Prince of Peace, we give thanks to God Almighty for his continued protection to us as a people. At this festive time, my heart and that of the entire ALP leadership goes out to the many families that would not be able to have a Merry Christmas for lack of financial resources. But I pray that the humble family of Nazareth will rekindle love, peace, respect, and tolerance in our hearts and homes. Best wishes to you, Madam Speaker, and yours, to all the staff of the Parliament, the Sergeant at Arms, the police, the good ladies in the kitchen who have served us so well.
This Honourable for St. John City East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I feel compelled to note this is a budget debate.
Asthma attack, and also I did follow the entire debate though on the television yesterday, so there was no disrespect for the Parliament. I try my best to always be here for every sitting, especially the budget, and to sit through and to listen to all the speakers, Madam Speaker. Anyway, Madam Speaker, I rise today to make my contribution to the 2012 budget as presented by the Honourable Member for St. John City East, the Minister of Finance, on behalf of his UPP government, and as a result, Madam Speaker, of the collective wisdom, or perhaps should I say the lack of it, by members of the other side. Madam Speaker, you see, shortly after March 12, 2009, we were told by the Finance Minister, the Honourable Member for St. John City East, that Antigua and Barbuda's economic condition could be described as a Category 5 hurricane. A set of conditions, he said, seemingly were unpredictable, had conspired to take place and to put our economy in mortal danger, Madam Speaker. Last week also, we heard from the Honourable Prime Minister, the member for St. John's Rural West, that an economic collapse was imminent, Madam Speaker, in 2009. However, the Honourable Member said that we were saved by Venezuela's willingness to part with nearly US $50 million in aid to Antigua and Barbuda. That close we were, Madam Speaker. 2 years later now, on December the 5th, 2011, the hurricane has seemingly passed, for the budget is now captioned in language that declares it, and I quote, resolved to transform and determined to deliver. Transform how, I ask, Mr. Minister, and deliver what, Madam Speaker? Because the transformation of the fundamentals of the Antigua and Barbuda economy during the recent past began after March 2004, when the country moved from being a low-tax jurisdiction where we had no personal income tax for nearly 30 years to a high-tax jurisdiction. The reintroduction of personal income tax, Madam Speaker, or as it was called, the Stabilization Fund, which we were promised by the former Minister of Finance would be for only a short period of time, came within months of ascending to high office on March the 1st, 2005. However, Madam Speaker, prior to March of 2004, all of Antigua and Barbuda was told, by cutting out extravagance, cutting out waste, cutting out theft, a new UPP regime would accomplish every single goal set for itself and would be able to do even more with government revenues that totaled then about $450 million, Madam Speaker. But today, as we face 2012 and the government predicts revenues projected to exceed $700 million, the UPP regime has declared that even a near 100% increase over 2004 revenues will still not be enough. $700 million in revenues, Madam Speaker, are insufficient in 2012. Additionally, those of us on this side of the House get the clear impression that the Minister of Finance, the Honourable Member for St. John City East, is attempting to convey to the listening public and to the Antigua general citizenry at large that the challenges which his regime faces today were all created by the past Antigua Labour Party administration prior to them coming to office in 2004. But you see, you raise taxes, Mr. Minister. You find more reasons then to spend more money, nearly twice as much as was spent by a former administration. And the hurtful outcome is created by an ALP administration. Incredible reasoning. It is true that we were negligent in paying external debt. It is true that we did give priority to keeping people at work and having near full employment. It is true that we were delinquent on certain suppliers. It is true that we were negligent in not paying in our mandatory contributions to Social Security. But, Madam Speaker, we kept the economy growing. We kept the economy growing year after year in the 1980s and in the 1990s. But, Madam Speaker, let me be clear here. The times are too tough in this country. The people are too hungry. Our institutions are too close to collapsing for me to engage in any esoteric analysis or point scoring in my presentation today. I'm not interested in that, Madam Speaker. As a result, I'm going straight to the concrete issues. The issues facing this country and the people of our beloved Antigua and Barbuda. Every man, woman, and child. Issues facing their very existence, their heart, their soul, their being. Madam Speaker, let us lay on the table certain fundamental facts which are indisputable. With your permission. Fact number one, Madam Speaker. Antigua and Barbuda experiences third year of consecutive negative growth, the worst performance in our history, including 500 years of slavery and colonialization. Fact number two, Madam Speaker. Antigua and Barbuda entered into an IMF structural adjustment program, a program designed to assist bankrupt governments who have no other options for surviving.